Hey everybody, it's Mike. Thanks for jumping on here with me this morning. Last week we acknowledged that we've got about 100 days left in 2022. So we started our version of a 100-day challenge last week. And I'm wondering how you're doing with that so far. I mean, there's so many things that each of us want to change in our lives, right? It's different for everybody. It is. Maybe you're trying to create more capacity each day so that you could do more business and maybe less time. Maybe you have children at home and you're trying to figure out how to run a robust career and be the kind of parent that you want to make. Maybe your health isn't where you want it to be and you're trying to figure out within reason, without eating cabbage soup 3 times a day, how to get your health back in order. There's so many things. Maybe you're trying to build more income, more wealth to support a lifestyle that you want for you and your family. Maybe you're just stressed. Maybe your business exceeds your business management ability and you're doing more business than you actually can effectively manage. Whatever it is that you want to change, we have to meet the challenge and change our lives. Because the old saying, right, is that if I always do what I've always done, I'm going to always get what I've always gotten, right? If you're doing a set of daily habits, you're in your life, and the way you're doing it right now hasn't produced the results that you are hoping for, then maybe you're not doing it the correct way. Maybe you need to change how you go about doing it. James Clear, in his book, Atomic Habits, says, change your habits, change your life. And that's what we're trying to do with the 100-day challenge. So each day, for the next 100 days, we're focusing on 2 habits each day that will take us from where we are to where we want to be. Now we have let me just recap real quickly some of the habits that we talked about establishing last week, and hopefully you're well down the road to this. If you are not, this is your opportunity to recommit. We talked about reading, starting the process of reading James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. I think it's a great way to get started. We talked about getting in bed by 10 o'clock each night. And the next habit is so that we could get up no later than 5 a.m. the next day. Why is that so important? So we can get out ahead of our day. We've talked about for 100 days, can we lay down our addictions? Can we say no alcohol, no drugs, no gambling, no pornography? Those are the big 4. Now usually most of us aren't suffering from all 4 addictions. That could be a problem. But statistically, almost all of us have an issue in one of those 4 areas: alcohol, drugs, gambling, pornography. Now you can sit here and say to me today that you don't, and then in which case I'm going to say, well then great, you don't have any problem saying 0 of all that stuff for the next 100 days. That ought to be an easy challenge for you to make. And if it's not so easy, then maybe there's a problem there. If you can't do without something for 100 days, maybe there's a problem there. We talked to committing to X number of real estate conversations every day. How many? I think it depends on how much business you want to do. We talked about drinking at least half your body weight in ounces of water each day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that's 100 ounces of water every day. Today, I want to go a little bit different with you today. Today, on the business side, I want you to commit for the next 100 days to making 1 video a day, every day, and posting it to all your social media sites. At least Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. TikTok if you want to have some fun. Okay, there's your challenge. 1 video a day, every day, for the next 100 days. Why? Because more than 67% of all communication is nonverbal. And because I know many of you feel uncomfortable and there's no better way of getting over how you feel than to do it. After you make 100 videos in the next 100 days, you will no longer feel uncomfortable about it. You will go into the first of the year feeling very core competent and comfortable with video. But you are going to have to go through the period of being uncomfortable. And watch out for the excuses we make for ourselves. Well, I couldn't think of anything today. Well, that's intellectual laziness. Put your back into it. Come up with something. It can be about real estate. It cannot be about real estate. I don't really care that much what it's about during these 100 days. I care that you do it and you put it out there. 1 video a day, every day for the next 100 days. The next challenge. So I'm trying to mix these up a little bit, right? 1 business challenge a day, 1 personal challenge a day. Because here's what I know. They're really intertwined. Like, it's hard to be good at work if I feel like shit. And it's easy to let work supersede my health. So we want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. We want all of these things, right? So your business challenge for today, 1 video a day, every day for the next 100 days. Your personal challenge is this. Reduce your sugar, salt, and fat intake by 20%. Well, I don't know exactly what it is. You can feel your way through this one. You can feel your way through it. Reduce sugar, salt, and fat. Now look, sugar, salt, and fat is in everything you eat practically. If you are eating in a restaurant, why do you think it tastes so good? Why does the steak at a restaurant taste so much better than the steak I would make at home? Because they're soaking it in butter as they cook it. And if you put butter on anything, it's like bacon. It makes it taste better. We are consuming in the American culture way, way too much sugar, salt, and fat. And if you are consuming that, it will make you tense, hypertensive. It can make you nervous. It can create a lot of anxiety inside you. It can just make you feel bad and unhealthy. I didn't say cut it out entirely. I said for the next 100 days, make a conscious effort to reduce your sugar, salt, and fat by 20%. You want a good way of doing that? Look at the label. And if you can't pronounce it, the ingredients in whatever you're about to eat or drink, if you can't pronounce it or tell somebody else what it is, don't eat it. That's a pretty good rule. If you do that, if say, look, I'm going to read the ingredients that are in this, and if I can't pronounce it or tell you what it is, then I don't eat it, right? You'll cut it by more than 20%. But within 10 days, you'll already start to feel better. You'll have more energy. You'll feel less bloated. You'll feel less tension and anxiety if you'll just do that. Folks, if we always do what we've always done, then a year from now, you're going to be where you've always been. In order to change our lives, we have to change our habits. And this is a pretty good place to get started. And if you do, this is how you're going to go out and make it happen for yourself today.